Good morning. This is Shera Inspires yet again, and I'm speaking to you from Nairobi, Kenya. Karibuni. This morning, today is the 19th day of April 2022, and in the wake of us losing a talented gospel singer, Osinachi from Nigeria, I'm greatly saddened. May she rest in peace. She's popularly known for her song, Ekueme, Ekueme, you are the living God, oh, is there no one like you? So this lady died because of domestic violence from her husband, who kept telling his family members that they would pick her up as a corpse. And it actually happened. He actualized it. So domestic violence is real, and it happens quite early. You find that when Osinachi was dating, the guy was very persistent. You can hear this from the interview by the mother, the twin sister. And he ensured that he isolated her from her family members, and even actually professed it, and he said it, that he was going to separate them. Why? God knows. Sometimes we meet people in our lives and you wonder, do I really need to look for the devil anywhere? Because some human beings, they really do behave like the devil. She has left 4 young kids. She was the lead singer in her church. And as much as we might want to judge her or condemn her, I believe she may have stayed in that toxic marriage where she was being violated because of the upbringing. Or if not upbringing, because in her case it's different. Her family was very supportive, by the way. They all knew what was happening to her, but they were also from humble backgrounds, and the guy took advantage by making her go and live far away where she was almost unreachable. Before you'd go to their home, you'd have to call. Those kind of, prohibitions, it's not very fair. So it happens, and I decided to come up with some red flags from my own experience, people I talk to in the course of my work as a counselor and a family mediator. I've got lots of stories from this. So you find that you may be in a relationship, you may be a male or female, because even the male, they are also violated against by women. It could be a child, it could be a woman, and mainly it's relatives. People closely related to us are the ones who harm us. You may be in a relationship where you have given it your all. You try to be so good to this person. If it's a guy, he tells you, do not wear this kind of clothes. I don't want your hair to be like this. I don't want you to be with these friends. I don't want you to be staying in this particular place. I want you to be going home at this time. And you change according to what, he or whatever he wants you to become. You change, you become submissive. And on the other hand, you may also try and make him change, which he may if he's willing, because people change if they want. So I'm looking at a case whereby the woman is the one who is being violent on the male, and the male has also changed to be, what this woman wants. He has quit drinking. Some of his friends you don't like, he doesn't have them. Some of the businesses he's doing you don't like, he changes. So a guy can change for you, a woman can change for a man, but there's some people who are just not satisfied. If that is one of the signs, please just leave. There will be somebody else for you. If you might be living with a mental case, someone who's suffering from mental illness, and it happens. This is the only time that we are really highlighting mental illness. And it's been there, it's been with us, and there are people who are married to people who are suffering from the same. And you find that some family members may know, you're not aware, they don't tell you about it, and you discover that the guy can be violent. Maybe he sleeps with a knife, he abuses you, he goes up the roof and tries to get into the house from the roof and not the door. And he does a bit of odd things. You're unable to leave because maybe by the time he met you, you had run away from home, or maybe you're an orphan, or your family members are so poor that they can't even afford to have you. So whatever reason you're staying in that relationship, in that marriage, sometimes it can cost your life. Even there are things that we really do good. Like Osinachi was really those nice people. She just wanted everything to be, peaceful, blessings. And she wanted everything, forget it. Those kind of people who are like, let's forgive them. Let's move on. Life is for the living. And, we live one day at a time. And you don't even tackle whatever the issue is. You don't discuss it. And you just let things pass by. Sometimes you can be good to a fault. So if you watch anything on TV with someone who values domestic violence, and you find that there's a man who has maybe shot himself, shot his family, killed his wife and his children, and the guy is next to you and he's saying, something, I can actually do that kind of a thing. He may sound like he's saying it as a joke or as a by the way, but from the fullness of the heart, the mouth speaks. So what he's saying is really what he means. And some of the guys, or even, let me talk more about the guys, maybe he will show you in public, he will be very good to you. He might give you the car keys to go move the car to a better parking area, or from his wallet, he will remove maybe 1,000 shillings and give it to you to buy the kids some snacks because people are watching. But in private, he normally gives you 50 shillings. When he removes money from his wallet, he'll hide it so that you don't get to see the kind of notes that he has. But in public, he will behave differently. So you get kind of confused. He will be beating you in private, but in public, he showers you with love. So that's also another red flag. He might be encouraging you to be his drinking buddy, whereby you drink together. And when you drink, maybe you lose it, or you cannot be able to be comfortable, or alcohol doesn't do well with you, so you lose it, or you black out, and he might beat you when you're drunk. So in the morning you find you have a black eye, and because you can't recall, he will always stick to the alcohol. So when people from his family ask him what's happening, he'll be like, I love my wife, but she's an alcoholic. And that's not true. He actually condones you drinking so that you can be able to cover his domestic violence against you with the alcohol. So as long as you're drinking and you're getting high, everyone will conclude that because both of you get high, that is why you insult each other, and that's why you get hit. That is why you are in it like that. He looks like the victim, and actually you're the victim. So you have to be cautious about that. And even if it's a male, also the same thing. Your wife could be taking advantage of you when you're drunk. So every time when she's on her knees, she's always praying that you don't stop drinking, because there are some men who are very good. When they're drunk, they will make the children sit and they will ask you what your problem is, what your challenges are. He becomes a mentor when he's high. And he'll also give you money. If it's bus fare, he'll give you whatever money. If it's school fees, he pays. But when he's sober, he doesn't do any of that. So your wife could also be very happy when you're drunk, and then she will take advantage of you. Some women fight their men when they're drunk and they'll hit you. And when you wake up in the morning, she'll tell you that maybe you fell. And some men are not able to discuss that their wives are really beating them. So it happens. If you can quit the alcohol, the better. You or him, the better, so that there's no excuse. So make sure you do everything so that by the time someone is hitting you, someone is sexually abusing you, someone is verbally abusing you, someone is emotionally, violating your rights, you can be able to say no, and you just walk out. There's always somebody for someone. And then he will hit you for no reason. There are people who also like talking with gestures. So you find that, he'll hit you, and he'll give an example with you and push you like that. And sometimes it hurts, he'll hit you or hold you tight. And it looks like, it's a joke, it's a game, but it hurts. By the time you get to look at your hand, it's swollen or something. These people, they can turn out to be violent. But before you see it, you're already condoning it and thinking, that's the way he speaks. So that's also another excuse. That's another excuse, and it is also a red flag. And then when he is jealous of your achievements, yes, you meet together, you start from scratch, he has nothing, you have nothing, you start a business together, maybe he wants you to stay up country, you say, no, I'm coming to live with you in the city, and let us get the little that we can, because with some men will dump you in the rural areas, and they are having a good life in the city. When you come to the city he doesn't want, some of them will accept you come, they'll start a small business, maybe grocery or a vegetable vendor, and the woman really runs with it and the business picks. But you find that the man is still not happy with you. You give him all the money, you bring it to the table. If you're working, you show him the pay slip. If you're in business, you bring all the money so that he makes the decisions, but he still doesn't like it. You join a circle he doesn't want. You join a chama he doesn't want. You join whatever group for ladies whereby you have merry-go-round. He doesn't like it. And all this is happening behind the scenes. He's actually beating you. These are men who are now very good at being, at domestic violence. And we should speak against that. These are some of the many, many signs. And then he keeps reminding you that you're married and you should not assist your relatives. And you find that maybe you just want to build your parents, maybe even a mabati house, and you're the only one they depend on. He doesn't want you to do that. He wants you to bring the money. And when you bring the money, it's not like he's building for his parents a home. He just wants money to go drinking and pay rent for another woman. It's amazing, guys. I don't know how you reason, but you want to suppress your wife so that you can get extra money, not for the sake of the family, but to go and keep another woman. That's what drives women crazy. And then in the process, you are hitting her. So why did you marry her with a beautiful face, nice hair? It means you married wrong. Your expectations were too high. And if she's coming up well, then maybe she's not your type. So what you can do, just let her be. Part. You don't have to kill her, nor the children, nor kill yourself, just part. There are some men who just want you to stay status quo as they found you. There are some ladies who also don't want their men to come up. They want their men to stay as they were when they met. But people change for the better, so you should be happy for your partner. All right, and then you give him all the money from the business he doesn't appreciate. When you highlight something about him, a truth, he literally hits you. And then he will apologize and say, oh, I can't beat a woman. Nowadays I don't like fighting, but he has hit you. Maybe he used to hit you like 20 years down the line when you met, 20 years ago. And then now it's like 22 years into the marriage, and he's hitting you again from nowhere. So it means that this guy is violent naturally. And it's not like even your marriage has been smooth. With these people who are violent, the marriage has so many issues. There is alcoholism, there is polygamy, there is infidelity, there are business deals that you don't understand. They are really straightforward. The marriage, the relationship is always full of issues. In fact, during this week of Osinachi, there's a lady who went on Facebook and she wrote her story and said how the man had paid some bride price for her and he's hit her to an extent she's got constant headaches. Maybe she needs to go for a head scan. And she said that she watched what happened to Osinachi and she put herself in the same shoes and realized that that was also a possibility happening to her. And she canceled the wedding. Everyone was shocked, but it happens. It's better to save yourself than having to be a Mrs. Because sometimes this title Mrs. really costs you. And then he will hit you and apologize. And he will be great at love and intimacy and gift giving. Every time he hits you, he does that. So in your confusion, you think you are the problem, but he is actually the problem. And this can take years, by the way, especially women, because we love gifts. This can really confuse you. And he may also hit you and not apologize. He's wondering, what's the big deal? After all, this is normal. This is how we live. I'm an African male, and if I hit you once, I hit you once in a while. It's not a big deal, so I don't have to apologize. Now, you have to be on the lookout. Let us speak against domestic violence. And I learned that as much as your friends could be going through something and they don't want you to talk about it, they tell you, oh, don't tell anybody because my husband will kill you. It's better to say than to keep quiet. Let us save each other. Let's be our brothers' keepers. Let's be our sisters' keepers. Let us be care for each other. We don't have to live like we are just meant. We were born to die. It's like we were meant to live in this world and just one day wake up and we are dead. No, let's enjoy prosperity. Let's enjoy good health. Let's enjoy being mothers. Let's enjoy being fathers. Let's enjoy good health. Let's enjoy travel. Let's enjoy whatever hobbies that that we like. And let's stop using, lots of men like using this Bible verse against women. It is Proverbs 14 verse 1, and it says, every wise woman builds her house, but a foolish one tears it down with her own hands. I tell you what, they really use this, but it's not true. There are women, many of us, we build our home. You wake up early morning, you want to be the virtuous woman, the Proverbs 31 woman. You do everything. You chip in into the family kitty. You come up with the kitchen budget, the children, the clothes, everything. You support him. You become his mother. You become his wife. You become his lover. You become the mother to your children. And we are rarely appreciated. So when you lose it and you realize that you are in a relationship that's toxic and you want out and you start speaking about it, then they will quote Proverbs 14 verse 1 to you. Now let me tell you, let's not take religion to another level or Christianity for foolishness. Common sense also is from God, and so is wisdom. So ladies, gentlemen, anyone out there, families, anyone who loves families and the church, let us speak against domestic violence. Let us love each other, and let's not live like we were born to die. There are too many deaths happening these days. There are even women killing their families. There are men killing their families. There are children killing parents. Like that case in Kiambu where this young man killed his dad. He was from the USA. He killed his mother and killed his brother. I got so hurt because he got the brother from under the bed. The young man was hiding. He came up and pleaded with him, and he still stabbed him. That was so demonic. We can't have families like this. Let's talk about them. Anything you can do, anything you can talk about when you're alive, let's go for it. So people, thank you very much once again for listening. Let me hear your comments. And if you want to reach us, we are going to leave our contacts below. And once again, clouds of blessings. Thank you.